Hello everybody! So today I'm doing a stencil. I have this beautiful painting that I have not known what to do with. It's pretty, the copper is pretty. I love this one. Look at the lines, the ethereal lacing right there that just flows across the painting. I love that one. And I'm trying to figure out where to put a stencil, and that's my little adopted brother trying to help me figure out which painting to use for the background. But honestly, with this one, no matter where I put the stencil, that beautiful lacing would be covered up. So even though I love the colors and I would have loved to do it with this one, I just felt like it would cover up the details. And then there was this one. This painting is so soft. I used a ton of the high flow copper acrylics in it. Something that I really don't use very often because it's so expensive. But the high flow, not the fluid acrylic, mind you, but the high flow, the one that's in kind of the nose bottle, the screw top bottle, and it's very fluid like water. That's the one that I used in that copper painting. And my gosh, it just made the surface so satiny and so soft and silky. It's literally the only painting I have that feels that way. And I've heard other people say when they use a ton of the high flow, it also does the same thing. So if you're looking for like a really super shiny, satiny, and soft feeling, that's one to go for. So I decided to go with this one because it has kind of a southwestern feel, and there's a lot of beautiful elements that won't be covered up by the stencil. This is the pour that I did with the high flow that I was talking about. I think I only used like 2 or 3 colors: white, phthalo green, and the high flow copper. I did mix the high flow with a Floetrol, I believe, and also my gloss medium, and probably a little bit of glue because it's so liquid. If you want to see that whole video in regular motion, I'll leave a link. I do have that one in my videos on YouTube, and you can go check it out. So this was much harder than I imagined it was going to be. Any advice is welcome from those of you who use stencils. I edited out my other 2 tries because it was boring, but my gosh, it was very difficult to get it not only on straight, but just all the lines, the delicate lines of the stencil to lay flat and be true to the shape. So then I decided to use my finger to kind of press it down on the canvas. Now, as you can see, this is signed already and dated. This painting is already varnished, and it was ready to sell. It just hadn't sold yet. I didn't get much love for this painting, honestly, but it's one of those, I think you just have to see it in person because, you know, copper doesn't come across on film the way it is in real life, and this painting is so shiny and so soft and shimmering, and yeah, I think if someone saw it in person, they would be really excited to have it. So I just, make sure that the stencil is completely secure. And then what I'm going to do is something I've never done before. I'm going to use white acrylic and this stubby. I start with the stubby brush, but I end up switching to the foam brush because the stubby brush gives me the feeling that it's going to push underneath the stencil. So I just start stenciling over the top with the white acrylic. It's just, I think I just use like a Artist Loft white, nothing fancy. So the person that gave me this idea, I want to give credit to, is Rick Cheadle. This man is such a brilliant artist, and this is one of the techniques he uses. He pours a painting, and then he'll stencil, and then he'll use alcohol inks over the top of the white, and then markers. So that's what I did with this one. And then I also ended up using some paints too as well at the end. I'll put a link in my description box to his work because it should not be missed. Amazing artist. It's so satisfying. Oh, it's like ASMR-y or something, you know, just... I'm not like totally into ASMR or anything, but there is something really amazing about seeing that stencil be pulled off and the lovely design that's left behind. I'm just trying not to rip the stencil right here. So just going gently. Thanks guys for watching. It's fun to share this stuff with you. And some of these things are just brand new to me too, and you know, so feel free to comment if you have some suggestions. I know a lot of people are really into stenciling. I'm just never done it, but honestly I'm not great with a pencil, meaning I'm not a great drawer. So yeah, this is just one of the ways I decided to embellish a beautiful pour and feel confident about it. So maybe this is a way that you could too. So alcohol inks, I have Ranger, I have Pinata. I think these are the Tim Holtz brand, and I have blending solution, and I have alcohol, and I'm still finding my way with alcohol inks. So you see, they kind of almost act like watercolors if you've ever used watercolor before. It's like the acrylic sort of soaks up the paint. The alcohol inks. So they do stay in the line to a point, but not if you use too much alcohol. So I did notice that when I was doing these little leaves, it was pretty easy to stay on the white part. And here I am trying to just get some depth and textures going on and some different colors. I'm just trying to make it interesting. It's more pleasing to the eye. Our eyes love depth. So, and see, you can see, especially this is where I was using that little stubby brush. You can see there is a few little white marks outside of the stencil. And this is the risky run using a stencil, I guess. But honestly, when I switch to the foam brush, the other parts of the stencil don't have this problem. So I think that's the key there. So I just ran my brush a little bit beyond to try to cover up the white, because no one wants just plain white. And that was the only way I could really think to do it. Oh, and then I do go back with alcohol ink markers from Arteza, and I do go back and kind of outline some areas if they were messier. So you can see this was easy to stay in the line, but some of it was not easy. And there's the big part that I did, the big skull, and if I used too much alcohol, it kept running off onto the painting, and I had to use a little paper towel and keep wiping that up. So it was a challenge, but it was fun. And unfortunately, I don't have that footage. I'm so sorry, but my camera ran out of memory. I still wanted to share this painting though, because it's really pretty and it's a new technique for me, and it's something I definitely want to do again. So I appreciate you all so much, and thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you would like to be a patron of the arts, please hit the link in my description box to support my channel. And look at this finished painting. Isn't it pretty? I love the way it looks. Yeah. This one's still available, so please contact me if you're interested in owning this beautiful piece. And as always, I cannot wait to make more art videos just for you. Thanks, guys.